एआई क्या लोगों के लिए मुश्किल बनता जा रहा है या इट्स अ गुड थिंग?
This is the most important question, and this is what will determine whether AI is going to assist mankind or it's going to be a roadblock.
जैसे हम हैं एंड लाइक यंग पीपल दे यूज एआई बट वो अपनी क्रिएटिविटी कहीं ना कहीं खोते जा रहे हैं. दे आर फुली डिपेंडेंट ऑन द एआई, चैट जीपीटी, जेमिनी, टॉकिंग अबाउट स्टूडेंट्स ओनली. So talking about education is very important part of our society. So how AI is being used in the education sector? How we can use how it is being used in the AI sector? नमस्कार, आप देख रहे हैं ऑन पॉइंट भारत. मैं हूँ आपके साथ रिद्धि. एआई की जब बात आती है तो लोग सोचते हैं कि कहीं न कहीं हमारी नौकरियाँ जा रही हैं. एआई ने सब कुछ टैकल करना शुरू कर दिया है. एआई इज़ अ गुड थिंग बट लोग इसको बहुत मिथ्स बनने शुरू हो गए हैं एआई को लेकर. तो इसी के ऊपर हम चर्चा करेंगे. तो हमारे साथ जुड़ चुके हैं जगदीप जी. सर, बहुत-बहुत स्वागत है आपका ऑन पॉइंट भारत में. सर, मेरा आपसे सवाल यही रहेगा कि एआई क्या लोगों के लिए मुश्किल बनता जा रहा है या इट्स अ गुड थिंग?
If we look at AI is a double-edged thing. It all depends upon how we look at. If we look at the positive side, what AI has done is it has actually revolutionized innovation. Couple of decades back, if you look at any new innovation, used to take decades for coming into gestation. Then the cycle got reduced to a couple of years. Then it came down to months, and now it happens in days. If we go back, it was in 2022 when OpenAI launched ChatGPT 1. It was, if I recollect it, it was in the later half of 2022. Right now, we are sitting in the middle part of 2025. They have launched 5 versions. In the beginning of 23, other players, Microsoft came up with Gemini. Uh, Twitter or X came with Grok. A lot of innovations happened. Within a short span, what we have seen is technology has evolved. From generative AI, we have seen agents who are planning our day-to-day life. Agents, if we give them just voice commands, plan my day. What they do, they go back, they look at my calendar, they know my shift schedules, they schedule my appointment depending upon my free slots. Then, okay, if I need to do some grocery, or I need to do some shopping, I just need to tell them this is what I need to buy. They access my bank account, make payments from there automatically. Then I say in the evening I need to take my family for a dinner. They accordingly, based upon my taste, my family's taste, they will book an appointment or they will book a table for me. They do it everything seamlessly. One way to look at it, it makes my life easier. However, if we dig deeper, it's pervasive. Pervasive means it gets into that lower level. It checks my personal private details. It has access to my mailbox. It can read whatever it wants. It has access to my bank account. If AI goes wrong, it can rob me of my money. Every now and then we are hearing about digital arrests. It's a common thing. So it can happen. It can know more than what it needs to know to make my life easier. Where it knows the personal details of my family, it can happen. So that way AI has its own pro and good. Similarly, if we look at, we have moved from agents to avatars. Avatars nowadays are common. They are assisting CEOs for making their boardroom presentations, addressing their media briefings. They are running marketing campaigns for them in social platforms. So that is where the good part. However, if we look at the way AI has evolved, it has evolved rapidly, and it's going to be a 4.3 trillion economy by 2033. But more than the existential question and the affordability or the aspects of whether it is going to be a threat, the biggest aspect is whether it is going to onboard every living being on this earth, on the platform. Because if you look at even now, even today, let's talk about India. 45% of our population doesn't have any connectivity. meaning they don't have any access to internet, they don't have any access to mobile phones, even now, which roughly comes down to 660 million citizens. So the most important question is, how do we onboard them in this journey? How do we include them? It should not happen that AI does colonization for the mighty, where they are able to exploit the resources on this mother earth for their own personal benefits, and the already marginalized, they get further marginalized. So that's where we need to leverage AI, and that's where ethics, AI for good, policymakers, their role become very important. Another critical aspect is upskilling. So for leveraging AI for good, we need to upskill. And upskilling is not only restricted to the students, it's for everyone. The policymakers need to upskill in terms of the good and bad of AI. This, on terms of the question which you asked, the consumers need to understand what is the acceptable limit, till what stage is it's going to be for advantage for me, and beyond what level it will become a disadvantage to me. So this is the most important question, and this is what will determine whether AI is going to assist mankind or it's going to be a roadblock. However, I personally believe as long as the decision making is left with human beings, decision making is human first, we can leverage AI to reach to the last mile, the marginalized citizens, to get a service to them. For example, in India, if you look at healthcare, the doctor to patient ratio is very low, much lower than what UN recommends. The bed to patient ratio is very low. UN recommends 4.6 beds per thousand citizens. We have only one bed per thousand citizens. So, can we leverage AI to reach to the marginalized, the rural population, the remote population? Can we leverage over there, not only for treating them or not only for giving them first aid, but can we take specialist or super specialist to, to address their needs? I think there are places where we can leverage AI for good. That's how I'll summarize it.
Okay, so you have mentioned about AI for good. What is that term and how we can like जैसे हम हैं and like young people they use AI but वो अपनी creativity कहीं ना कहीं खोते जा रहे हैं. They are fully dependent on the AI, ChatGPT, Gemini. Talking about students only, they think that कि हमें एक magic वो मिल गया सॉफ्टवेयर मिल गया जहाँ हम अपनी असाइनमेंट्स डालेंगे क्वेश्चंस डालेंगे एंड वील गेट द फुल फ्लेज तो AI for good is how we can use that thing in a good way.
So again, it's a very good question. If we look at AI for good, as I said, it comes down to upskilling. So short term, if you look at, yes, it is helping out students who are looking for shortcuts. They are leveraging AI for getting their assignments, and it is directly impacting the quality for education. Industry is every now and then coming and telling that the quality of students we are producing is not meeting industry expectations, and that's where the role of policymakers becomes very important. That's where the direction they are going to give to AI is going to determine AI for good. AI for good means AI which includes everybody, which focus upon inclusivity, which focus upon prosperity, which focuses upon circular economy, which focus upon climate issues management, which focus upon managing health issues, which focuses upon education, which focuses upon sustainability. In fact, in that direction, United Nations had its meeting in 2015 where they defined 17 sustainable development goals. So we can take them as a charter. If we have to think what AI is going to be for good, if that should be our torchlight or the toll gate. Whenever we are in a dilemma as a evangelist, if I'm in a dilemma, how I'm going to leverage AI for good, I have to look at those 17 principles. And from those principles are basically, as I said, around education, healthcare, environment, sustainability, affordable healthcare, smart cities. That's what it is about, and that can bring us back. And the role of policymakers become very important. AI for good means we are not getting into colonization, as I said earlier. That's what AI for good is. Taking technology, taking Mother Earth to the neglected, marginalized people. That's what AI for good means.
Okay. So talking about education, as education is a very important part of our society. So how AI is being used in the education sector? How we can use or how it is being used in the AI sector,
So
education sector?
if you look at some time back, there was an ad from Idea.
Hmm.
What an idea, Sajid. And that was talking about education. So if we look at the theme of that idea, of that ad, it was, what was the theme? Taking education, taking information to the remotest of zones of our nation. We being a diverse country, having all kind of climates, all kind of terrain, it's practically impossible to cater to every citizen.
Hmm.
So that's where AI can be leveraged for education. It can be leveraged to analyze students' personality, identify their strengths, and giving them specialized focused training aligned with their needs. AI can be leveraged to identify star potentials, the people who can be tomorrow's scientists, administrators, sportsmen. That's where AI can be leveraged, giving them education aligned with their strengths, giving them education which harnesses their strengths on the same time working upon their weaknesses so that they don't become catastrophic. That's what AI can do. On the other hand, if you look at the subsequent classes, the senior classes, the super specialization or post specialization, there also AI can help them in research.
Hmm.
That's how AI can contribute to education. Because one good part is, whether we like it or not, it's a fact that on the click of mouse or on couple of prompts, you have every research paper accessible to you through through ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok. You can access, which was not a case. So students were spending a lot of energy in collecting that information. Now information is available to you at the click of a mouse or at just a prompt. So that's how easy information is. That's what I believe AI for good is, leveraging that information to serve mankind. And this is what I believe and mean to say that AI for good stands for education.
Hmm. Sir, is there any myth you want to talk about AI that you want to break? That this is not the myth, this is the reality. That you think is a myth, but it's not in the real.
So the biggest myth which we are talking about, industry is worried about, okay, it's going to result in job loss.
Hmm.
Industry is worried about, the mankind is, I think sometime back BBCDA did a show which posed questions about existence of mankind, that robots and technology is going to replace mankind. I, to me, it's a myth. As long as we are upskilling, as long as the mankind is upskilling itself, it can still leverage technology for its betterment. However, it's a tough task. We can do it, provided we understand our own strengths. It should not happen that AI understands our strength better than us. As long as we are true to our potential, we know what human beings are good at. It will not pose a threat to us. We can leverage it as a agent, as an assistance, or as an augmenting thing to maximize our potential, maximize our capabilities. Yes, it will take away some traditional jobs, but it will open up for much better avenues. Look at, I said 2.5 billion citizens have not been tapped in the world. I said 660 million Indians have not been tapped in. They are not connected.
Yes.
So look at, if we are able to take technology to them, we are opening a market space for that population also. It gives us immense potential. As long as we can reach out to everybody, it's going to be a month. However, if it makes us lazy, the results can be catastrophic. It will not pose an existence threat to mankind, but it will cause significant damage, and there's going to be a lot of heat generation on the earth. That is what we can mitigate. It's in our hands. That's all.
Sir, is there any five charge AI tools that you want to like suggest to our audience that they should use to everybody in general?
See, more than tools, I will say the first thing everybody needs to focus upon is understanding physiology. Physiology is a science about living beings, about their motion. How do they move? How do they function? So, going to the basics, that's what physiology is. For example, how do biomechanics work? when what is the proportion of my legs to the footstep which I take. That science, if we understand that bit, we will be able to leverage technology, no matter what tool. We will be able to leverage that. That's the first advice I will give to you. Second advice which I'll give to everyone is, as far as possible, don't get bogged down by technology. We need to adopt a technology agnostic approach. In that space, Open Standards Organization is doing a wonderful job. As far as possible, for a nation like India, we should leverage OpenStack technologies, because in a nation like India, affordability is a big challenge. We cannot afford costly solutions. So, keeping in mind affordability, our focus is on open source, and that's what I think most of the developments in the AI world has happened in open AI world. So that should be our focus, rather than going and adopting proprietary solution. That's my second recommendation. Third recommendation is around know your data. It's very essential, because AI is as good as the data it has, and data is as good as the underlying processes we have in place. So ensuring the data is clean, the data is correct, we are leveraging the data for the purpose it is meant to be. That's the third recommendation. That work on the data part. As a data custodian, if you're collecting someone's data, as a data custodian, it becomes your responsibility also. You're leveraging it up for the right purpose. So use it for the good. That's the third recommendation I will have for the mankind, or anybody who want to get into the space. It's our inherent responsibility that whatever we do with technology or with AI is making this planet better for people and for Mother Earth also. That is what we should focus on. Fourth recommendation I will have is move away from colonization or enterprise solutions. Whatever you code, the focus should be on interoperability. Whatever you build or whatever you leverage, if there is an application A which you consume to build application B, it should be interoperable. Application B should be able to communicate freely with application C. If somebody is building, there should not be any boundaries. That is what true democratization of technology means. That is what we should focus upon. So that's what I will say. Uh, and last but not the least, ethics. So ethics is the most critical part. You ask me, AI, what is AI for good? That's what AI for good is. Adapting, keeping your moral compass always on, adhering to those sustainable development goals. That's what AI for good is. And that's how I look at it. I don't want to typecast technology or AI with the individual technology. There are plenty. You can use ChatGPT from OpenAI. There's Microsoft has got Gemini. Uh, Copilot. Google has got Gemini. Microsoft has got Copilot. Uh, Twitter has got X has got Grok. So there are plenty of applications which are available. There are plenty of agents available. If you have to build up a web page, a website, lovable, there are plenty of technological options which are available. Leverage anything. Don't box it off with a particular license number. That's all I can say.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Ethical concern is a big concern because data is being used by everybody, मतलब without any security. So thank you so much for joining with us. So I just hope आपको ये podcast अच्छा लगा होगा. There was so much of the information that sir gave us. तो AI को किस तरह से यूज़ करना है, किस तरह से you can use it as a technology and डेटा को किस तरह से आपने यूज़ करना है, आई गेस आपके बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस के आंसर इसमें मिल चुके होंगे. तो ऐसे ही और अमेजिंग पॉडकास्ट के लिए जुड़े रहिए ऑन पॉइंट भारत के साथ. धन्यवाद.